Hello, my friend. I want you to pause, just for a moment, and truly listen to the words I'm about to share. If you're in your 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s, and you've noticed a quiet change in your energy, your drive, your desire, please hear me. You are not broken. You are not less of a man. You are not alone. But you may be making silent mistakes that are quietly interfering with your health, your intimacy, and your sense of self, without even realizing it. My name is Dr. Julia, and for over 30 years I've worked closely with men just like you, strong men, thoughtful men, men who've given their lives to others, who've carried the weight of careers, family, and responsibility, and now find themselves asking quietly, what happened to me? What we're going to talk about today is rarely discussed openly, and almost never with compassion or clarity. Masturbation after 60. I know, it might feel taboo, even silly to some, but I assure you, it's not. The way you touch yourself, the rhythm, the habit, the intention, affects so much more than your private pleasure. It influences your nervous system, your prostate, your hormones, your emotional well-being. It can either restore your vitality or slowly drain it. I want to invite you into this conversation not as a lecture, but as a reclamation. Not of youth, but of presence, of connection, of the part of you that still longs to feel fully alive in your body, because that part has not disappeared. It may be quiet, but it's waiting for you. Let me bring you into a moment I've witnessed many times. A man in his late 60s, maybe early 70s, sits across from me. There's frustration in his voice, shame sometimes, and he says, "Dr. Julia, I have to try so much harder just to feel anything. It used to happen so naturally." And that's where it begins, the first subtle mistake. Pushing, forcing, rushing, using pressure or speed to make something happen because your body doesn't respond the way it used to. The truth is, as the body matures, it asks for something different. Slower blood flow, changes in nerve sensitivity, hormonal shifts. But instead of adjusting, many men unknowingly fight against it, using techniques from their 30s on a body that's asking for gentleness, patience, breath. The result? Microscopic damage, inflammation in the urethra, tension in the pelvic floor. Over time, these lead to real consequences: reduced sensitivity, erectile changes, prostate discomfort. But it doesn't show up overnight. It shows up quietly, until one day you feel disconnected from the very thing that once felt like home. So what can you do? Start here. Shift from performance to presence. This isn't a task, it's a relationship, with your body, with your energy, with sensation itself. Focus on awareness, not urgency, on exploration, not outcome. And here's another truth many don't want to face. Porn isn't harmless, especially after 60. I've spoken with men who feel emotionally empty after years of chasing stimulation online, even when they still crave connection. What happens in the brain is chemical. Porn floods your system with dopamine, fast, artificial pleasure, so fast that your nervous system becomes numb to subtlety, to touch, to eye contact, to real arousal. Over time, even the most extreme content can't satisfy, and what's left is often isolation and confusion. But your brain, like your body, is resilient. With time, and yes, discomfort, you can rewire. Step away from screens, explore pleasure through imagination, memory, warmth, breath. Rediscover the difference between stimulation and sensation. I've also seen men who overstimulate multiple times a day, thinking it helps them stay active or healthy. But overmasturbation in the later years can drain more than it gives. Your nervous system needs longer to recover. Ejaculation is beautiful, yes, but it also releases key hormones and minerals, and it takes a toll. When it's habitual, disconnected, or compulsive, it can leave you feeling flat, foggy, even low. You may not link the two, but the connection is real. For many men, once or twice a week is plenty. Some don't climax at all, but find deep satisfaction in presence. It's not about frequency, it's about alignment. And let's not overlook your prostate. This tiny gland, often forgotten, plays a major role in comfort, control, and pleasure. Ignoring it leads to inflammation, pressure, even pain. The way you position your body, the way you rest after climax, whether you urinate, all of it matters. Use soft surfaces. Avoid direct pressure on the perineum, and always allow your body to fully clear after stimulation. But perhaps the most ignored aspect of all is your emotional heart. Intimacy doesn't begin in the genitals. It begins in feeling seen, valued, connected. I've sat with men whose sexual disconnection had nothing to do with function and everything to do with emotional loneliness. If you've been emotionally distant from your partner, your body often follows. And if you're alone, lacking touch, friendship, spiritual connection, your nervous system senses that too. Testosterone dips, desire fades, and you think, maybe I'm just getting old. But no, you're not just aging, you're yearning for depth. This is the part many experts ignore. Your heart is part of your health. Talk to someone, share, breathe with another. Connection heals far more than chemistry ever could. And finally, let's return to the body, to movement. Because sexual energy is circulation, blood flow, oxygen, strength. If your legs are still, your pelvis weak, your spine tight, your intimacy suffers. I once worked with a man who hadn't moved his body intentionally in over 15 years. We started with walks, gentle strength work, a little yoga. Within weeks, his sleep returned, his mind cleared, his libido woke up like a river thawing in spring. Your sexual health is not isolated. It's connected to your heart, your muscles, your breath. You are one living, electric, powerful system, not a machine that's rusting. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a body that wants to be remembered. So my question to you, my friend, is this. Will you remember it? Will you reconnect? Not just to arousal, but to aliveness? Today, you've heard about subtle mistakes, forcing, overstimulation, disconnection, neglecting movement or heart or prostate health. But knowing them is just the beginning. Now comes the return, to yourself, to touch, to presence. Not with shame, but with reverence. If something stirred in you today, even a little, I invite you to write, "I'm reclaiming myself" in the comments. Let that be your signal. And if you want guidance like this every week, rooted in truth, backed by science, and spoken from compassion, subscribe now. This is your space. I'm Dr. Julia, and I want you to know something. Your best years aren't behind you. They begin the moment you choose to meet your body, not with fear, but with care, curiosity, and courage.